se siente? Mira, mi gente. ¡Wow! Un aplauso más fuerte. Un aplauso más fuerte para la reina, por favor. Ay, qué bien.
Somebody said they love my suit. I wore this suit for you. I was like, wait, all the Latinos are going to be in the house. I got to be right.
How are you feeling? Look at this crowd. Look at
Amazing.
this excitement.
You know what? This just brings so much joy to my heart. It just makes me so happy to see so many amazing Latinas here in the audience and all the businesses that are being started right here in this room. It's very moving, very moving. You can feel the energy here, and it feels so amazing. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I love you. Thank you.
I'm so happy to hear you talk about the businesses, because that's why we're here. You all in this room are doing such incredible things, and many of you are doing it on your own. So, Jennifer, I would love to start and just ask why. Why is this important to you?
You know, today is important to me because when I looked around in our community, in the community that I grew up in, I heard the message over and over that you could be anyone you wanted to be if you worked hard and played by the rules, right? In my industry, that can be true, but not in everyone. Not everyone is an entertainer. You know, in this country, a capitalist country, it is not enough to work hard and play by the rules, right? If you don't have access to money, to capital, you can't expect to ever get past a place where you're working for someone else, making someone else's dream come true, where you're at the mercy of the economy, fate, and someone else's decisions. So what I saw growing up was that it was very, very difficult for people like me, low-income Latinos, especially women, and women weren't even in the conversation when I was a little girl, to get access to capital. In fact, we remained 60% less likely to get loans from national banks. And that is really unfair and fundamentally un-American, right? And it made the promise of the American dream feel kind of false, you know, kind of hollow to me. And that's why we're here today. That's why I'm here alongside Andrea and Grameen to change that. We want to change things. Today, what I'm trying to do, yes, we are, and we're going to. Today, what I'm trying to do is make the promise real for everyone in this country. And by making sure people who look like me or who come from places like where I come from have the same opportunities to borrow money, to start their own businesses, and to make their own dreams come true. So I want to just speak to all of you today, directly to all Latina women, and say there is access, there is opportunity, and most importantly, there is money here for you, and you deserve it just as much as anyone else does. I know firsthand that the biggest thing you need, that we all need, that all I ever asked for was like the opportunity. Just give me a chance. I want a chance. And if you work hard and follow the rules, you can have your fair shot at the American dream. I know you will be successful. You will be successful. You have to tell yourself that. You have to know it in your heart. And there are huge opportunities for profit and growth investing in Latina-owned businesses. Because once we get that chance to prove ourselves, we shine. We shine. So Grameen America and I share this same goal. We know female entrepreneurs are the heart of this country, and if we give that chance, it will drive massive economic results, which will lead to generational wealth for families and a more equitable, productive, prosperous country for everybody, for all of us.
I love that. Andrea, I'd love for you to jump in here. I mean, why specifically is generational wealth so important?
It's so important, but first I just have to say to everybody, I'm so proud that you're all here with us today, and is it not amazing to have Jennifer Lopez, who can do so, she believes in you, she believes in Grameen America, and we're just so unbelievably proud. You know, this is Hispanic Heritage Month. We're celebrating it starting this weekend all the way for another month, and there's so many things culturally to celebrate, so many contributions, but one thing that we cannot celebrate yet is equal access for women and for Latina women in getting financial capital. Latina women only earn 55 cents on the same $1 that white men earn in the United States of America. Not acceptable, and that is what Grameen America, Jennifer Lopez, Limited Beauty, that's Limited Labs, that's what we're here to do, is to really change that course. 1 out of 4 businesses in America is run by Latinas. In the last 10 years, Latina businesses have grown 44%, and all the rest of the businesses have only grown 4%, so that is 10 times faster. But we're not getting the capital to Latina entrepreneurs in the same way. Only $1 out of $23 a couple years ago was given to a woman for new business. $1 out of $23, only 4%. And so that's what we're here to do. That's what we believe in, is that we know that when women are financially independent, the world changes. When a woman earns $1, she is able to invest that dollar back into her children, into education, into healthcare in the entire community. So it's time to make that change, and that's what we're here to do. With all of your support, we're here to give you the opportunity to really change the world.
And the truth is, while those changes are certainly exciting, they can also be very, very daunting. You have a lot of women in this room who are going at it alone, who are trying to start ice cream businesses or lavanderias, trying to have a washer-dryer service, right? There's so many different types of businesses. I know that your latest entrepreneurial venture, JLo Beauty, I mean, now you have this huge, massive success, but how hard was it just to get started, just from the very beginning?
You know, it's 20 years in the making, this business. There's always challenges in starting a business for anyone. But that really isn't the question. The issue is, why haven't Latinas been given an equal chance to make and take on those challenges? Because I can tell you for certain that we are more than up to the task. Yes, you will be questioned and you will be scrutinized as a woman starting a business. Yes, people will sometimes kind of make false and belittling assumptions about you. That is nothing new to the millions of Latinos in this country, and certainly nothing that we aren't very well prepared to take on, maybe even more so prepared. For me, the big realization was the fundamental and crucial distinction between being a salaried employee, someone who's just being paid a salary, and being an owner. An equity stakeholder in a business. I knew that if my name and likeness were going to be used to tell women that I stood behind some product and that my name was going to become a brand, my name and my identity, that's really all I had. And people were going to understand I was making them a promise, right, that these products would work. And that was important to me. It was me that they were trusting. It should be me then making those decisions about what products I did, in fact, believe in, because I couldn't look myself in the mirror and lie to people. You know, I had to be in control to a certain extent. They had to really work, which meant I had to really make those decisions. If I'm making the decisions and I am the one people are looking to when they make the choice about how to spend the money that they work so hard for, it only makes sense that I also own equity in that business. That's the basic principle of ownership. It's the promise to the consumer. For the second part of your question, I needed to really believe in myself. I need to recognize that the voices telling me I didn't know what I was doing or that I wasn't smart enough were just kind of echoes of what other people said or wanted me to believe. But when I looked into my heart, I understood what women wanted from skincare, and I knew I needed to step up and take the responsibility to deliver that. It meant believing in myself when others didn't, is basically what I'm trying to say. And it also meant the wisdom and humility to know when I had to learn from others, too, because that's a big part of being in business as well. It's a process, but it's not some like mystical, unknowable thing that only a certain part of the world should have access to. If you have a dream and you believe in something that you think people will respond to, follow that dream and build that thing. If it's in your heart, then that's the best investment you can make.
A round of applause for that. It's believing in you. You know, and I have to say, you grew up in the Bronx. You talk about the community there. I'm moving to the Bronx right now. So
Really?
yeah, I live in Harlem and I'm moving to the Bronx, baby. And so, I mean, the truth is there's a lot of similarities in the stories here, in the women here who are trying to have liftoff too with their dreams, their businesses, their ideas. Do you see those similarities? And if so, what do you say to the people in this room? What's your one piece of advice to help them keep going?
There's so much that I want to say, but I think the main thing, I think the difference between success and people who are not successful is you don't give up. You just don't give up ever, no matter what people are saying. You know, you just, I always used to watch cartoons with my kids when they were little, and it was just like, keep on swimming, keep on. And if anybody watched Nemo, Finding Nemo. But that's really what it's about. You just don't give up. Also, you got to listen, but you got to be strong. You got to be kind, but you also have to be tough and resolute at times. You have to be generous, but you have to be firm. You know, you have to be caring, but you also have to be professional. You have to be open, but you also have to have boundaries. But more than anything, I think, is you have to be true to yourself. You have to be honest. And don't give up. That's all.
Andrea, I'd love for you to jump in here too, for both of you. And the women in this room, you know, there can be self-doubt. There can be imposter syndrome. And that can sometimes not only come from within, but other people can challenge our right to be in the spaces that we occupy. How do you handle that self-doubt?
I think if anyone tells you they don't have self-doubt, they're probably not telling you the truth. It's something we all have. And I remember when I first became the boss in business years ago, a lot of the men quit because they were like, I am not working for a woman boss. She won't know what to do. I then remember being at a meeting, and I remember that they said, you can wait outside and wait for the boss to come. When the boss comes, we can start the meeting. And I remember thinking to myself, but I am the boss. But you know what? It's hard because in those moments, you do have those moments of, can I really do this? Am I good enough to do this? And let me just tell you something, ladies. Women can do anything that men can do, and better, yeah? And you have to have confidence. Even if inside you're anxious, even inside you're a little bit nervous about it, you don't have to be arrogant. Don't be bossy, be kind, as Jennifer said, but have confidence. Believe in yourself, and you will prevail.
Jennifer, you want to add?
Yeah, I often think like if people are surprised when I tell them that how much insecurity and self-doubt I've grappled with in my life and my career. But I don't think it's anything to be ashamed of. A lot of people, especially women, especially people of color, get a sort of constant messaging from society that they're less than, or that they only belong in certain roles, in certain places, and they shouldn't rise above their station or ask for too much. But I think insecurity and self-doubt isn't unique to any kind of person. It's a function of facing a hard task, and human nature is to get scared and wonder if we're really up to it. You know, I can remember so many times about to go on stage, wondering if something bad would happen, if I could do it. And sometimes I just had to really rely on faith and optimism, and sometimes on thinking, well, the one thing that I can control is how hard I work up there, how well I work. The rest isn't in my hands. And what I found is that I don't often get those fears so much anymore, because the best cure for low self-esteem is to really do esteemable things. If you start proving to yourself that you can do something, that's the best way to internalize the belief that you can. Eventually, that doubt will fall away. Sometimes you just have to kind of fake it till you make it. The only option you don't have is giving up. You get out there and you do it over and over and over and over, and I promise you, there is great satisfaction in finding out those voices from outside and some from inside, that you weren't good enough, that they were wrong. That's how I see it.
And you talk about doing it over and over and over again. What about habits of success? Because, right, I mean, that's a habitual thing. Success is a habit. And how not only do you establish the habits for success, what are they, but also, what do you do? I mean, as Andrea was saying, when she's walking into the room and people don't even think she is the boss, what do you do when people criticize the processes that are required to be successful as a woman?
You know, it's really about routines. You know, it's about being consistent, you know, having your ideas about, you know, when you're consistent with things, when you're able to kind of like go, okay, this is my recipe for success. Like for me in my business, it's really about rehearsing. It's about being prepared. Those type of things are really what give me the confidence to walk into rooms and not be afraid what somebody's going to think or somebody's going to say, or whether she's right. You go into a room and they think, you know, are you the boss? And if you're a woman, like I say this to the credit of one of my longtime collaborators and partners, who represented a lot of men before he represented me. I was the first woman that he represented, and he was like, you know, I kept wondering why I would get upset when you would tell me things. What? He told me this years ago. He's like, I'd just be like, why is she like bossing me around? You know, like he worked for me, you know? And I was like,
He worked for you.
He worked for me. And he
Just
was
to be
like,
clear.
why do I get upset? She's telling me what any other person who I worked with tells me. Hey, do this, do that. Can I get this? Can I get that? You know, I really didn't like this. This was. And he goes, and I really had to sit with myself and go, it was because she was a woman. Wow. It's because she's a girl. And I so respected that he said that to me. And of course, we worked together.
He was honest.
He was honest. And he also checked himself and was like, you know, I'm not going to do that. This woman is amazing. I'm representing her for a reason. I love her. I believe in her. I believe in her more than I've ever believed. Why can't I just take that? And that's part of what we have to deal with sometimes. So I think it's about, for me, when you're prepared, when you're consistent, when you're rehearsed, you're confident, you can go into those rooms and do what you need to do.
You're confident, you go into the room. I guess that begs the question, what makes us different? What is our superpower as women, especially when it comes to
Don't get me started, okay?
Get started, girl, get started.
Well, first of all, we're smart, we're empathetic, we're wise, we have great relational skills, we understand what other women want, we know how to communicate, we know how to respond to stress and adversity, we don't give up, we know when we're being lied to, okay? We can adapt to different environments, we can focus, we're multitask like nobody. We're extremely capable and resilient. We're incredibly hard workers. I mean, how long do you have? I can go on. Look, that's right. Look, I'm in my 50s, and I'm a Latina woman in the United States. Okay? I am not supposed to be up here. Okay? And I am just getting started. They don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. But that's the thing, to be able to reinvent yourself, to meet with the good times and the bad times, with victory and triumph and disaster, to treat those two things the same takes courage and confidence. And I know what you all know. I know you guys know what I'm talking about because many of you here are Latinas too. So forgive me for telling you what you already know, but I'm talking to the other people in the room too. That's it.
Angie, you want to jump in here?
How can I follow that? But as Jennifer said, you know, we're mothers. We can multitask like nobody else. We can juggle like nobody else. But if I just even go to the statistics, because sometimes those count, when people looked at the competencies to run businesses, 84% of people recognize that women have more of those competencies. What are they? Initiative, getting results, teamwork, trust, integrity, being honest, being able to, number one, women bosses pay more to their employees.
Yeah.
Okay? They take care of their employees.
Generosity.
It's a known fact. It is a known
Appreciation.
fact. It is an appreciation. And so it's really quite amazing and important because we know that the future of the she boss is very, very powerful, and that's why we look at all of you and we know that you are emblematic of the superpower. You are the superpower of Grameen, all of you in this room. Yeah.
You know, when you talk about the future and you look around this room and you can tell this room is the future. I think a lot about the future. I'm 5 months pregnant. I'm having my first kid. When you talk, my first baby.
Oh my God,
yeah.
life-changing.
And so, yeah, if I don't know, it's una sorpresa. I don't know if it's a boy or girl, but what is the one piece of advice, Jennifer, you would give your daughter?
My kids, I would say to follow their dreams, to be who you authentic to yourself, like be whoever you want to be and believe in that. Learn from people who've done it well, and then take those ideas and mix them all up and refine them and make them your own. Be your own visionary, your own leader. Don't follow anybody else's path. No, there's no one right way to do things. And listen to your parents. We aren't quite as clueless as we seem when you're 14. Which mine are right now.
And you know, you're doing this for women trying to make their way. What would you say to your daughter? What would you say to your child when you look forward to the future?
Well, it's hard. Two things. One is be financially independent. It is really, really important for women to learn to be financially independent.
My mother taught me that too. So good.
And the second is that success happens over time, not overnight. Okay? It does not, if something happens overnight, maybe that's luck. Yep. But if you really want something that you can learn from, sometimes you have to fail. And you learn and you grow when you fail. And if you want anything sustainable over time, over decades, not just over 1 month, you have to really give it that perseverance, believe in yourself, and it does take time. I don't know how many of you have seen Jennifer's Netflix documentary, Halftime. Have you seen it? It is a must on what I just said, though. Okay? It spans the decades of her career and the decades to come. It's not about 1 month, right? I mean,
that is the best thing I've heard. I'm stealing that from you.
You can steal it.
Success is not overnight, it's over time. It is so true.
Yeah.
You really have to grind away at things if you want to build something for your life and something that you really can be proud of later, because it doesn't matter what it turns out to be. You know that you gave it everything you had and you took the right decisions for yourself and you did the things that, and you just gave it your all. There's no satisfaction like that. There's nothing. There's no money. There's no nothing that can feel better than that at the end of the day. And now, like you said, I'm at halftime. I feel that very much, that like I have a real, after going through the hardships, after, you know, being doubted and all of those things that happen to everyone, having kind of pushed through that and gotten to this place, I have kind of the blueprint for what I need to do. And I hope that some of what we're saying is resonating with you, so you can understand that as well. Like, don't give up and just do what you do. Do you, goddammit.
Do you. I love that. Which, you know, brings us to the point of asking, what's next? I know, Andrea, you have big plans for the women in this room. $600,000 you guys are hoping
so
to
we're so
pump
proud
in
of
Latina
our
businesses.
hundreds of women, our incredible members from the Los Angeles area right in here. But our goal by 2030 is to serve 600,000 Latina women in the United States.
Let's go!
And give out $14 billion of Grameen America loans. $14 billion of Grameen America loans. But we have so many exciting things. We want you to be able to love the experience with Grameen, more training, some exciting new savings and programs, a member app for iPhones or Samsung phones, but there's going to be a Grameen America app coming. And then you heard about the Promotores program on stage earlier, but the community health program, we're really excited to hope to be able to bring it to, across the country, but here in LA as well. So there's a lot of exciting things happening at Grameen in the next few years, but it really is based on your success. You've proven to us that the partnership, the trust that we have with you is hopefully changing your businesses, and we're just so inspired by who you are. We really are.
I think, Jennifer, to close us out, you put it best. You're just getting started. What should we?
We're all just getting started. That's it.
We're just getting started. Any final words for the women in this room?
No, I just, I think I've said it all. I talked more than I expected to. I would just say that I'm so proud to be Latina. I'm so proud to be here with you guys. It really shaped and formed everything about my life. And I really believe that it was my superpower in being able to accomplish the things that I have accomplished so far. And like I said, it is only the beginning for all of us. And I'm so excited to see over the next few years what we can all do together. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here today. I love you. I love you.
A big round of applause for Jennifer and Andrea. Ladies, let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you so much.